Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2020, and I'm going to do a video like this today. I'm not able to show the sound when I click on the videos, but I just kind of wanted to show you if you don't have the packet yet and you're doing it online, how you kind of navigate it. So this is our new learning packet. It started today. So we're on day 31. You can see over here, which is May 13th, which is today. And we're going to start off with math. So if you have your packet, go ahead and get it out. If you don't, see if your parents can help you follow along with this. I've attached it to the dojo post for this morning as well. So you're going to start with math today. And it says complete the how many pennies activity for day 31 on page 5. Okay. So it says eliminate it. Think about the characteristics of a penny, a nickel, a dime, and a quarter. Choose one thing that only 3 of the coins have in common. Eliminate the coin that does not fit, so the one that doesn't fit with the others. Explain your decision. This is also on page 5. So if I go to page 5, scroll down to page 5. Okay. And here I am with day 31. And first I have the how many pennies activity. So it's going to give you a couple questions and then you're going to answer it. So Mia has a quarter in her pocket. How many pennies are equal to 1 quarter? So think about how much a quarter is worth. What is the value of a quarter? And then how many pennies would you need to equal how much a quarter equals? And then you're going to keep going. Mrs. Terry has a dime in her wallet. How many pennies are equal to 1 dime? So same thing. You're trying to think about how much a dime is worth. And then figure out how many pennies that would be. Number 3, Jose has a nickel in his hand. Draw a picture to show the number of pennies that are equal to 1 nickel in the box to the right. So think about how much a nickel is worth and how many pennies should you draw over here to make it equal his 1 nickel. Jamal has a dime in his wallet. Draw a picture to show the number of pennies that are equal to 1 dime in the box to the right. So you're going to draw those pennies right there. And you also have eliminated, like I just said. So, excuse me, you have these pictures of coins right here. Which coin would you eliminate? Explain your reasoning. Okay? You're going to do that for math. Also for math, you could always go on Dreambox if you have an iPad or tablet or device, that would be great. It also gives you this really cool book. So if I click on these links right here, which I know you can't hear my computer sound. All right, and it's a book called The Coin Counting, which is a book about different coins. So if you want to hear another teacher read that book to you, go ahead and watch that video on YouTube. Then it also says, yes, you can log into Dreambox and continue working for 15 minutes. It says it's optional. But if you have a computer, I would suggest getting on. For reading today, it's really important that you guys try. I know you guys have these packets, but if you type in or click on these links, it gives you a whole lesson just like as if we were in class. And right now it shows up day 11, so you just got to scroll down to the day we're on, which is day 31 right here. And I know you can't hear what it's saying on my computer, but you can on your computer. And it's going to go through the lesson just like we would in class. It has the letter from the ornithologist, right, which is the person that studies birds. And so when it says to listen to the letter, it's right here in this video. And it tells you exactly what to do for today. So try and see if you can click on those today. Then it says, after listening or reading the ornithologist letter, think and talk about the letter and the information on the chart. Write to tell what you notice and wonder about the information on the chart, which is on page 13. 13. If we can get there. Here we go. Okay, and there's the letter right here. You're going to write about what you notice, and then you're going to look at this chart right here. Okay, you have bird problems, ways people help. Okay, birds crash, mark windows, trees cut, save trees, need homes, build birdhouses. And then you're going to write about what you notice, and then what you wonder. Wonder is things questions you may have. Okay? All right, then we move on to word work. There's a little video again that you can click on. Oh, if I can click on the right thing. So if you have a device and can log in, I would suggest clicking on these links because they give you a good little lesson. All right, so you would go down to day 31 and it's going to talk about the sounds you're working on. Okay, so today you're working on vowel teams A and O or ow. Okay, which a lot of you already know this, but this is very good practice. So you're going to go through, you're going to listen to the lesson, and then it says write the words from cycle 22 word list. Use a red crayon or marker to trace the vowels. Use a blue crayon or marker to trace the consonants. So you're going to take that cycle 22 word list. We're going to go down to it. Okay. All the way down. Okay, always read the story. So the decodable text for cycle 22 is Pat's birthday. And remember, it's decodable, so sound out these words. There's a couple sight words in here, but for the most part, you can read this on your own. Make sure you read all the words on the word list and the sight word list. Okay? So, and then it says, if you have a red crayon, if you don't have those colors, just use any colors, 2 colors that you have at home. That's fine too. Write the words from the word list. Use a red crayon or marker to trace the vowels. So A, E, I, O, U. So any of those letters, any of those vowels that are in a word, you're going to write them in red. Then you're going to use a blue crayon or marker to trace the consonants. Okay, so that's every other letter that is not A, E, I, O, or U. Moving on, we're now moving back into social studies. So we kind of finished up science for a little bit. We're moving into social studies with something that you guys have already learned. So we're just kind of getting better at it. So it's almost like a review. So we're talking about supply and demand. Okay, and I know this was very confusing for us when we learned it, but this will help make us even better by practicing. Supply is the quantities of a good or service that a producer is willing and able to make available for sale. Many things can affect supply, new technology, cost to make or transport, and even weather. Okay, so here's your activity. In the winter, you can find a plentiful of warm coats, hot chocolate, sleds, and snow shovels. These items are harder to find in the summer, right? Because we don't really need warm coats and sleds and snow shovels, and I mean sometimes we like hot chocolate, but we don't need those things as much in the nice hot weather, do we? So you're going to make a list of at least 4 items that are in large supply to purchase in the summer, but hard to find in the winter. So think of things that you're using in the summer when you go to the beach, when you're outside in your yard. So think of 4 things that you would be able to find in the summertime when you go to the store, but if you try going in the winter, it might be hard to find. For example, a swimsuit or a bathing suit. Really easy to find in the summertime, but if you try to go in the wintertime, they still have them, but there's not as many. Their supply is low because they know people don't need them at this time. The demand is really low at this time. So share your list with an adult and discuss. So you're going to make a list with 4 items. You can draw them and then talk with a parent or someone about this. There's also this little video that can teach you a little bit more about supply and demand if you're having a hard time with it. Then watch this first. Okay, we've watched one like this. Okay, so it's talking about supply and demand. If you have any questions for me, please have your parents ask me and send in your work. I would love to see your supply and demand list. All right, I hope you guys have a fabulous Wednesday. Bye.